Hello, my name is Paula María Martínez Sandoval, and I'm going to present my PIA and my evidence. Let's start. I'm going to talk about the TV show Friends. Okay. First of all, the introduction to the TV show. The iconic television show Friends is universally considered one of the greatest sitcoms of all the time. It was created by David Crane and Martha Kaufman and premiered in 1994. The series revolves around the lives, love, and hilarious misadventures and six friends in their 20s and 30s living in New York City. Over its 10-season run, the show was watched by a million of viewers every week, and it was continued to be discovered by new generation of streaming services. The Central Park meeting point of the group was Central Perk, a cozy coffee shop where they could share countless cups of coffee and support each other through every possible life situation, from bad dates and career failures to weddings and the joys of starting families. The characters. Getting to know this unique group of individuals is true joy of watching Friends. We see Rachel Green evolving from a spoiled runaway bride to a successful fashion exclusive, and Rose Geller, her on-again, off-again boyfriend, who is lovely nerdy paleontologist obsessed with dinosaurs and his failed marriages. Monica Geller, Ross's obsessive-compulsive but fiercely loyal sister, is a chef who needs everything to be perfectly clean and organized. Her future husband, Chandler Bing, is known for his sarcastic sense of humor as a defense mechanism, and he works in st- statistical analysis and data reconfiguration, a job that nobody can ever understand. The fire spirit, Phoebe Buffet, is a masseuse and musician who writes viscerally wonderful songs like Smelly Cat, and Joe Tribbiani, a struggling actor with a huge appetite and a heart of gold, famously lives by the motto, "How you doing?" My personal favorite character. Uh, when one is asked to choose a favorite character, it can be difficult to pick just one, but Chandler Bing often stands out for his unique personality. He used to be incredibly insecure in relationships, and he will always rely on sarcasm to handle uncomfortable situations. His childhood was revealed to be quite traumatic, with his parents' scandalous divorce causing him to develop his humor as a coping mechanism. If he hadn't met his friends, he might never have learned to open up and become the wonderful husband and father he eventually turned into. He can be funny and emotionally clumsy, but he is also fundamentally loyal and good-hearted person who will do anything for his friends. Chandler's role in the group. Chandler's primary role within within the group was undoubtedly undoubtedly, undoubtedly to be funny man, the one who could lighten any tense moment with a well-timed, sarcastic moment. However, his character was allowed to grow significantly over the narrative tense of the show. He had been following his journey from a commitment-phobic joker to a living and devout partner to Monica. Whatever problem a friend was facing, Chandler will always be there to help, whether it was with financial support for Joey or a listening ear for Ross. He was interdependent with his friends, forming an overarching bond that was foundation of the entire series, and he was never underappreciated by those who truly know him. Friendship and humor. The group dynamic was built on a funda- foundation of underwearing support, even when they were driving each other crazy. They were always there to lift each other up or to point out when one of them was being ridiculous. You might find yourself laughing at Joey's naivety while simultaneously admire his loyalty. Whereas Ross was often logical and scientific, Phoebe provided a with with sim with cynical and spiritual balance. The friends had to work through countless arguments and misunderstandings, but they always ended up forgiving one another and looking out for each other's well-being, often using reflexive actions to better themselves for the sake of the group. The one with all the grammar. It is fascinating to analyze the language of Friends. The dialogue is incredibly natural, making it easy and enjoyable to learn English from. The writers were brilliant at creating jokes that are still funny today. It is common for learners to find it difficult to understand Chandler's sarcasm at first, but it becomes easier with time. Whatever episode you watch, you will encounter authentic conversational English. If the writers had not used such natural language, the show would not have been so relatable to audiences across the globe. The scripts were overflowing with witty remarks and understated emotional moments that gave the show its heart. Uh, Looking ahead by 2030, the show will have been en- entertaining people for nearly 4 decades. The fans must feel a deep connection to these characters to still be passionate about them. The characters were always running into new problems or breaking up with their partners, like Ross, but they had to come up with solutions to their complicated lives. In the end, they had to grow up and take on adult responsibilities, but they never let their friendship fall apart. They taught themselves how to be better people, and they always believed in one another no matter what. Uh, just to finish, my conclusion, Friends is more than just a television show. It is a cultural touchstone that explores the concept that your friends are the family you choose. Through its brilliant use of humor and heart, it taught an entire generation about loyalty, love, and navigating the complexities of adult life. The final episode was seen by over 52 million people, a testament to its incredible impact. The story of these six people resonates because it is ultimately a story about us, about our own struggles and our own search of belonging, and it reminds us that life is always better when you have friends to share with. Now, the questions. Why did I choose this topic? Well, I choose this topic because Friends is not merely a sitcom, it is a fundamental pillar of modern popular culture that, that has been passively consumed and actively adored by generations across the globe. Its writing must be praised for its genius, as the creator managed to craft jokes that are still hilarious decades later, while the characters feel so real that viewers can see themselves in their struggles and triumphs. and dreams. The show is incredibly easy to watch and get absorbed into, making it a perfect subject for analysis. Furthermore, it it them it them of choosing family and navigating young adulthood are universally rateable, ensuring its status as a timeless classic that will have been influencing comedy and television for many decades to come. Uh, More information about the topic that I didn't mention in the presentation. Uh, okay, two fascinating aspects that are often overlooked involve the show's production and its unintended consequences. Firstly, the theme song, I'll Be There For You, by the Rembrandts, became a massive worldwide hit, but the band itself has expressed frustration with its success. They had only intended to record a short version of the show. However, due to the overwhelming public demand, they were pressured into expanding it into a full-length single. This ended up overshadowing the rest of their musical work, and they will often be asked to play only that one song. Secondly, the show had a significant and unexpected impact on the American coffee shop industry. Before Friends, the concept of Central Perk as style coffee house as a third place, neither home nor work, was not nearly as widespread. The show is credited with popular, popularizing this social model, inspiring a whole new culture of hanging out in cozy cafes, which countless businesses have since tried to emulate for themselves in order to attract a younger clientele. And the final question is another piece that I could choose, but I didn't choose. Again, another piece of media that that I absolutely adore is the movie The Notebook. It is a profoundly moving story that never fails to make me cry, and it must be one of the most romantic films ever made. The narrative, which is told through the reflection of an elderly man, is beautifully heartbreaking. However, I deliberately chose not to present it because I knew I would have gotten far too emotional discussing the passionate relationship between Noah and Ellie and the tragic reality of Alzheimer's disease. I would have found it difficult to get through the presentation without my voice cracking, and a formal academic setting is not the right place for such a personal, emotional breakdown. Essentially, I was afraid I wouldn't have been able to handle talking about it objectively. But yes, it's one of my favorite movies. And that will be all. Thank you so much for your time, teacher, and I hope you like it. And that's it.